All right, this video is going to be a quick guide to broadcast television and TV antennas, specifically in the United States, but I believe it's the same pretty much in Canada. I'm making this video because I keep talking to people that don't realize how easy broadcast TV is. Everyone is sleeping on it, especially younger people. They just don't realize it's there. I see people running around trying to get a stream going of big events that are just on broadcast. It's just buy an antenna, plug it in, and turn on the TV. So we're going to talk through that process here, assuming you don't know very much about it. But it starts with getting an antenna. Just go to Walmart or Amazon or Target or wherever you shop and check out what they got for antennas. Here's walmart.com. The kind I would recommend is these flat ones here, kind of the size and shape of a piece of paper, and they have a wire coming out. This one's $13. This is actually what I would recommend here. Generally, just kind of ignore their uh, specs and stuff that they offer there. So this one here, um, as you see, it has a splitter here. Has this screw end here that plugs into your TV. So if you got a TV and it's meant to be a TV, it'll have the end there that you screw in this. It's the same thing that you would plug in if you have cable, but it's same connector. It's been used for antennas for a long time. So old heads will remember back in the day it used to be the rabbit ears type of antenna on the TV. Now maybe 15 years ago they switched to this digital system. Um, so when originally the switch happened, networks were kind of lagging on the switch over, and it wasn't great for different reasons at first. But now, 2026, everything is golden on there. So there is a lot of networks on there available for free. So let's just talk again through this process. So this one here, you see it also has this USB, looks like a USB-C connector there. You plug that into power somewhere. This is a powered antenna, and then you get a little light on there showing that you got signal. It doesn't take a lot of power, just a little loop through there. I should know a bit better, but I don't know the technologies of how a powered antenna like that works. So put that in your house and just put it somewhere temporary to set it up. Let's just talk through this like you don't know. So go to your TV, and then you go to your menu there, and in your menu functions there, maybe under channels, you'll find a scan function, and you scan, it'll roll through all the channels and find all the possible channels. Now, a lot of the channels on there will just be like shopping networks and religious programming and other stuff you don't need. You can delete those you don't want. The main ones you get are NBC, CBS, Fox, ABC, and there's a CW network. And that depends on your geography and where you live. Not all of those will be available everywhere, but you would be surprised at the coverage that the larger networks, especially NBC and Fox, have pretty much anywhere in the United States. Unless you live somewhere really weird, you're going to have some kind of signal for some of these channels. So take a look at what you got, and then after you've kind of established your channels there, you can kind of figure out a better place to put your antenna. Generally, putting it up higher is better, vertically, up towards your ceiling. Um, but it depends on your local geography a lot. If you're like in an apartment building on the top floor, it doesn't matter vertically really where you put it. But if you're down in a little hollow or something, then it's that much more important to get it up vertically. If your house is down in a little valley, then you might even have to run a wire up to your antenna, up to your attic, and stick it up there. So you can find a balance there of like a nice high place to put it, but somewhere where you don't have a big ugly antenna and wire running around your living room or whatever. You can usually stick it up on top of a bookshelf or behind a cabinet or something like that. Sometimes it doesn't need to be up that high, and you can just throw it behind your TV and it's fine. And that's all there is to it. And it just sits there. So it does need to be vertically placed, but then your rotation will kind of depend on your signal strength to your different channels. So you got to kind of get your rotation to where you get the channels you want to get, and then that's kind of the rotation it needs to be at. Uh, and that just depends on where the broadcast is coming from locally near you. To get those different signals. So if it's really close to you and you get good signal, it won't matter what your rotation is, but to get some farther away signals, you kind of need to be pointed like directly at it or whatever. And so you'll just find the balance of where you get all the channels you want, or that you'll be able to. And again, you're not going to be able to get every channel everywhere. It just depends. And so again, these are your local NBC stations, your local Fox station, and such like that, depending on where you live. Um, So that's how you set it up. Again, you run your auto scan, then you delete out the ones you don't want, and then you just have a couple good channels there. You get an app on your phone is the simplest way to do it, and then you just set your location there. And similarly, you just kind of delete out the channels you don't want, so you have your channels there, and do that. Otherwise, different websites will offer the same thing. So nothing complicated there. And then, what are we getting? Maybe should have led with this, but um, that's mainly your for practical purposes, ignoring the junk. Uh, Live sport events on NBC and Fox and CBS to some degree has some really solid stuff, and even CW runs some college football and stuff like that. So biggest games of the week, NFL if you were into that. The biggest NASCAR races. World Series baseball is on Fox. ABC has the NBA basketball championships. So just different networks have their different properties. And currently, right now, we got the Olympics starting up on NBC. So every night on NBC, 8 o'clock, there's Olympic coverage. So that possibly probably the easiest way for you to watch that passively. Just turn on your TV and flip over to your NBC channel and have it right there. It's almost kind of foreign now that we're kind of streaming everything, but it's just so easy. It's right there. Once you make the big investment of $13 and the few minutes it takes to set it up, plug it into your TV. This, I found these kind to be the best. Like I said, these floppy paper kind. There's some different designs, and they'll all kind of flex about what kind of range and channels they get, but your mileage may vary. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention. In the United States, as far as I understand, they don't do this in Canada so much, but in the United States, the way these networks are doing it, they're allotted a certain bandwidth of frequency, and it doesn't actually match with the channel that it displays. That's kind of a virtual overlay for convenience now, but your TV does that mapping and goes to their channels. And it's up to that channel, it's up to that broadcaster how they want to split up their feed. And um, so they'll typically broadcast one at like a 1080 resolution, and then several more subfeeds at a lower resolution, like 480 or whatever, and they'll show like old programming, uh, like all sitcoms and stuff like that on these other networks. So there's a lot of other networks there. So there'll be like one channel, channel 4.1 will be NBC, but then 4.2 will be a network like MeTV, which shows like old sitcoms and stuff like that. There's another network, Cozy TV, again shows these old sitcoms. There's a network, Heroes and Icons, that shows like Star Trek every night. They got original series, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine and Voyager and Enterprise every night. So it's just like classic good TV on these networks there, as well as, like I said, the main draw is the live TV, live sporting events, award shows and whatever if you're into that kind of stuff. But the the big networks typically make it even harder to stream those things because they're going for the broadcast networks. So don't make it hard on yourself, and uh, struggle to stream something that's just floating on the airways right around you. That's all I got to say about TVs, um, and antennas. Thank you.